Okay. So, moving ahead with great pride and honor, we would now share a brief about very respectful, honorable, distinguished guest of the day, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, who is known as a man of action, having a penchant of for undertaking reforms, scripting turnarounds, and achieving superlative results by working in mission mode. An advocate for decisive growth driven change, he is well respected for his impeccable integrity, passion, and commitment towards society at large. Featured amongst the top three Indian leaders of the future by Asia Week magazine, Hong Kong, in its cover story, Giant on the Move, he has been guided by the dreams and mission to balance the needs of human development while preserving the fragile environment. In a short span as a Minister for Commerce and Industry, he has highlighted areas such as trade promotion, investment promotion, boosting domestic manufacturing, and institutionalizing evidence informed policy making where a focused approach will be adopted. He was the Minister for Indian Railways. Under his leadership, railways in transformed from a slow-moving behemoth into a fast responsive organization. He is also a believer in people's participation in the working of the ministries under him, especially through the involvement of stakeholders. So let's get enlightened with the expert views of renowned and very famous and very intelligent personality, Mr. Suresh Prabhu. I would request everyone to please be an active listener.
Congratulate the Institute for organizing this important program to mark the birth anniversary of one of the greatest management guru or management teacher, a person who reshaped the thinking in management through his innovative ideas, forceful delivery, and thinking way ahead of time. Peter Drucker would always be known as a path-breaking thinker of modern world. Today's management day, we can clearly see that management is the only way we can actually live in this world. Why some countries are doing better in pandemic like India? Because Prime Minister Narendra Modi has managed it better. And why some countries are not doing as well? Because they could not manage it better. So essentially, even a pandemic is a management issue. Governance is a management issue. There is obviously corporations, multinational or otherwise, a good management issue. Because most of the corporations, over a period of time after emergence of joint stock companies in the world, there is a divorce between management and ownership. So owners who are shareholders would obviously expect something from their managers. So management has become extremely important issue, and therefore a scarce natural resource of the world can never be properly used judiciously unless there is a management involved in it. So Peter Drucker's thinking assumes greater importance today than any other time in the past. He had a foresight. In fact, leaders, whether in management field or otherwise, their legacy survives only when they can think ahead of time. Because otherwise, their own lifespan, if they think only about the limited issues, that legacy is lost during their lifetime itself. But it survives only when you think beyond a point. So he had the ability to think about the demise of a concept called everything will be done in your own office. He thought about back office and front office. He had a foresight of thinking that so-called blue-collar workers won't be there after a while, which is now today you can see very clearly. This is happening in a very significant way. And therefore, a visionary management leader like him has done a great job in terms of contributing significantly through his thought process to enriching the lives of people and understanding the trends. It is very important. You understand the trend before it becomes a reality. If a manager doesn't know the trend and it becomes a reality, he can do nothing because that becomes a fait accompli. And that is where he stood out. He had a great ability to also think through in terms of not command and control, but decentralizing, giving authority to people. As a railway minister, when I became railway minister, we had 1.3 million people. The first decision I took is to decentralize all my powers to the general managers and others. I said, I don't want to exercise any power. My job will be policymaker. I will follow your ideas. I was thinking of doing a enterprise resource planning, ERP, which will make sure that everything can be planned on your computer. And that would have saved 50,000 crores. So management by decentralization is the most effective way to not only empower your managers, but also to get best out of them. And therefore, that is something which we thought about, and we have seen in 1991, when the Soviet Union collapsed and subsequently most of the command and control economies could not survive. His was the idea that really brought us into the right frame of mind. I know he had a great faith in people. He said they are not liabilities, because when you hire people, you think liability because you have to pay salaries to them every end of the month, or some countries every week. But he thought they are assets, and that is where the real strength of the enterprise lies. Can you run enterprise only by creating shop floors? You need to bring in very strong ideas of people-centric organizations. That is what he really thought about, and I am very happy, therefore, that Peter Drucker inspires a lot of managers even today. His faith in people now makes us think that organization is nothing but people, actually speaking. Whether it's non-governmental, it's commercial organization, or it's a government organization, it's people, end of the day. And the people-centric organizations have survived better. I don't want to elaborate on it because there is no time. But you can see organizations which are driven by technology, there are organizations which are driven by capital, there are organizations which are driven by state backing them, and organizations which are people-centric. If you look at all different kinds of organizations, the people-centric organizations have survived the onslaught of changing times. And therefore, Peter Drucker's faith in people, understanding the real core strength of an organization, is, in my opinion, one of his greatest legacy. I will feel that he did a phenomenal job in various spheres of management. He is the pioneer of management education. And I therefore would like to recognize his great contribution. It's not necessary I have to recognize, it is already recognized globally. But also would urge today's management students, what is that you should learn from Peter Drucker? That's a fundamental question. Should we be dogmatic in only reading him and try to follow him by letter and by spirit? I think that will not be paying tribute to Peter Drucker. You should always believe in yourself. If this is a people-centric organization he talked about, and if he talked about people as the real asset of the organization, in that sense, people are the asset, people are the strength, people are the major source of the organization's capabilities. And what is the people made of? Oh, thinking. People is not just the bodies. People is their own thinking. And that thinking must change with changing times. If you want to really follow Peter Drucker, then in a sense, you should not follow him blindly, but get inspiration from him and try to devise your own ideas, your own management techniques to manage the new challenges of the world. And all over the world, there are full of challenges today. No one is immune from challenge. There is no immunity tablet that can be taken for dealing with corona, but there is no immunity tablet to deal with challenges of this kind. Therefore, immunity can be developed only by developing self-confidence, developing ability to be agile, to be thinking differently, and constantly revisit your own dogmas and try to be always ahead of others in terms of thinking. So let me, because of the limited time, I would have taught in management schools. I have done, though I'm a chartered accountant, I've done many things in my life. Though 10 cabinet positions, but that's in the government. I was to be chairman of the Rajesh Cooperative Bank, so I managed that such organizations. I manage NGOs of a different kind. So I can clearly see management is a key driving force behind successful organization or cause of failures. Let me wish you all the best, and I'm sure all of you will be successful, drawing inspiration for a great thinker like Peter Drucker, who rose from nowhere. He was inspired by some economists and others, but he developed his own thinking. Otherwise, Peter Drucker would not be known to anybody if he was only following somebody else's footsteps. He would never be known to anybody. So that you, as good, successful manager, and you want to be one of them, I'm sure you must learn to be on your own. Thank you very much. God bless.